on the top floor of a fancy hotel in North Philadelphia. The Aristocrat Hotel has a restaurant known for its stunning views of the city at night. The high ceilings, glowing chandeliers, and soft jazz piano music make it feel like a special place. Everything here is carefully designed to help people escape their everyday worries. I felt my heart beat faster as I got into the elevator. I was excited. It was my 30th birthday. I had changed my work plans just to be here for dinner with my mom and my sister. I imagined we'd sit together, share warm food, laugh, and talk happily. But when I walked through the restaurant doors, everything fell apart. There were my mom, Sophia, and my sister, Victoria, but they had already finished eating. The white tablecloth was covered with empty plates and wine glasses. Confused and hurt, I walked up to them. "Mom, Victoria?" I asked, my voice shaking. They looked up calmly. "Oh, Reina, you're here," my mom said, as if she hadn't expected me. "What? We had plans," I said, my throat tight. "Yes, but we thought you were busy, so we started without you," she answered like it was no big deal. I felt a heavy knot in my chest. "But I told you I was coming. We weren't sure you'd show up. We didn't want to lose the reservation," my mom said simply. I couldn't believe it. Then Victoria pushed the bill toward me with a smirk. "Here you go, Reina, it's your turn to pay," she said. "You're kidding, right?" I asked, shocked. "Nope," Victoria laughed. "You have the best job. You can pay." "But it's my birthday, why should I pay?" I asked, feeling a lump in my throat. "You make the most money. It makes sense," Victoria shrugged. My mom looked at me gently but with no warmth. "You're always so busy, so at least be useful and pay for dinner." I stood there, speechless. I had worked so hard my whole life, school, jobs, scholarships, paying for Victoria's college too, and on my own birthday, they didn't even wait for me, they just wanted me to pay for their meal. It broke my heart. They didn't care how I felt. "I can't," I whispered. "What?" Victoria asked, raising an eyebrow. "I can't do this anymore," I said, standing up. "You ate without me and want me to pay? That's not right." My mom frowned. "No need to overreact. This was supposed to be a birthday dinner together. You didn't care how I'd feel," I said, my eyes tearing up. Victoria rolled her eyes. "Fine, Mom can pay. It's not about money," I said. "This just isn't right." "Where are you going?" my mom called as I turned to leave. "Home. There's no reason to stay," I said calmly but firmly. "Wait, Reina, don't be so dramatic. It was just a joke," Victoria said, trying to sound light. "This isn't funny to me," I said. I walked out of the restaurant. The cold night air hit my face as I stepped outside. I pulled out my phone and texted my fiancé, James. "Can we meet now? I need you." I tried not to cry as I walked through the busy streets, the city lights shining while I felt alone. My phone buzzed. James replied, "I'm here for you. Where are you?" I typed quickly with shaking hands. "I just left the Aristocrat Hotel. I need you now." James called right away. "Reina, what happened? Please, just come get me. I'll be there in 5 minutes," he promised. A few minutes later, a black SUV pulled up. The window rolled down and I saw James's worried face. I got in without a word. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. "No," I said honestly, tears falling again. James didn't push me to talk. He just squeezed my hand. "Want to go home?" he asked after a bit. "No, somewhere quiet," I said. He understood. He drove us to a small cafe away from the crowds. Inside, it was warm and calm. We sat in a corner, the soft lights making it feel safe. James took off his coat and looked at me gently. "What happened?" he asked. I told him everything, how my mom and sister ate without me, then handed me the bill. "They said they thought I was too busy," I said, my voice breaking. James listened quietly, never looking away from me. "They made me feel like an outsider," I whispered. "That's so wrong," James said softly. "Family shouldn't treat you like that." I nodded, tears in my eyes. "Just because they're family, does that mean they can do anything?" "No," James said firmly. "Family doesn't mean they can hurt you and expect you to forgive everything." I felt a warmth in my chest. "Thank you," I said. "For what?" he asked. "For listening, for being here," I said. "Always," James said, giving my hand another squeeze. I felt a little calmer. James smiled. "Should we stay here, or come to my place? I don't want you to be alone tonight." Can we go to your place? I asked. Of course, he said. We left the cafe and drove to his house. Inside, it was warm and smelled nice, wood and vanilla. He took my coat and led me to the living room, where a fire flickered. It's so cozy here, I said. I'm glad, James said. Wait here a second. I sat on the sofa, breathing deeply, trying not to think about my mom and sister. A few minutes later, James came back with a surprise, a small cake with one candle. Happy birthday, Reina, he said, smiling shyly. James, I whispered, touched. I wanted you to feel special. Make a wish, he said. I closed my eyes and wished for a better birthday next year, one where I truly felt loved. Then I blew out the candle. Happy birthday, James said again, cutting the cake and giving me a piece. I tasted it, sweet and soft. It's so good, I said. I made it myself, he said, looking proud. In that warm room, with James by my side, the pain from my family faded a little. I felt cared for and seen. James looked at me seriously. Next year, let's celebrate somewhere you really want, together. Will you be with me next year too? I asked. Not just next year, always, he promised. His words made my heart lighter. The hurt was still there, but I wasn't alone anymore. Thank you, James. I'm so lucky, I said. We ate cake by the fire. My birthday, which had started so badly, ended with love and warmth after all. The next morning, my mom and Victoria called. My mom's voice was softer than usual. Reina, about last night, she began. Victoria cut in. We thought you wouldn't mind. It was just a joke, giving you the bill. We didn't think you'd get upset. Hearing that, I felt a cold knot in my chest. A joke? Did they really think my feelings didn't matter? I've always felt left out, I said, my voice shaking. I know I'm busy, but I always felt like you were pushing me away too. It's always hurt. I hung up the phone, my hands shaking. I couldn't believe I'd finally spoken up about the pain I'd carried for so long. It was the right thing to do, but I was scared too, scared of losing my family for good. My mom called me back right away, but I didn't answer. I wasn't ready for another fight while my heart still hurt so badly. More calls came in. Then messages from Victoria started filling my phone. Reina, please don't shut us out. Let's talk. We didn't mean to hurt you. Her words tugged at my heart. I still loved them. They were my family, but I was tired of always being treated like I didn't matter. That birthday dinner made me see how unfair they'd been for years. Their selfishness, their coldness, it all built up inside me until I felt I'd break. Then another blow came. I got a letter from the bank saying there was a loan in my name, but I'd never taken it out. When I dug deeper, I found out my mom and Victoria had used my name for loans and credit cards. They even used my money for trips I didn't know about. When I asked them why, Victoria just laughed. It's fine, we're family, right? She said like it was a joke. My mom said calmly, you make good money, you should help us. That was too much. It wasn't just them being thoughtless, this was stealing, it was fraud. That night, I called James. He'd always been calm and steady. I trusted him to help me figure out what to do. When he picked up, just hearing his voice made me feel a little braver. I took a deep breath and told him everything. James, they used my name for loans and cards. When I asked them about it, they acted like it was nothing, like I should just forgive them because we're family. But I can't. James stayed quiet for a second, then asked, what do you want to do? I looked around my empty apartment and said, I want to sue them. They've crossed the line too many times. I can't just sit back anymore. James sighed, but his voice was strong. If you've decided, I'm with you. I know a good lawyer for fraud cases. Really? I asked. Yes, using your name without permission is a crime. We'll talk to him tomorrow. We'll do this the right way, he said. Hearing him say we made me feel safe for the first time in days. Thank you, James. You don't have to thank me. I'm on your side, he said gently. Tomorrow we'll meet the lawyer together. The next day, James went with me to the lawyer's office. The lawyer listened carefully, asked for the documents, and said calmly, this is clear fraud. You can press criminal charges and also sue for damages. Do you want to do both? Yes, I said without hesitating. I was done crying. I needed to protect myself now. A few days later, my lawyer sent my family an official notice. The news shocked my father the most. He had always stayed silent when my mom and sister did whatever they wanted. This time, he asked for us to meet in person. So we all sat down in a hotel lounge, my parents, Victoria, James, my lawyer, and me. My mom looked annoyed. Was it really necessary to drag lawyers into this? I looked her in the eye. If you didn't want this, you shouldn't have used my name. Family doesn't mean you get to ruin my life. Victoria rolled her eyes. You're so dramatic. It's just money. Just money? Do you know how hard I work for that money? Do you care at all about my feelings? I shot back. They both went quiet. Maybe for the first time they realized what they'd done. Then my father spoke up, surprising everyone. I was wrong too. I let this go on for too long. Hearing him say that made my throat tighten. He'd never said anything like that before. I took a deep breath. All my life, I've worked hard, at school, at work, trying to make you proud, but no one cared. You focused on Victoria. You ignored me. I felt invisible in my own home. And now, this fraud, it's too much. My mother's eyes filled with tears. Victoria looked down at her hands. It's too late, I said, my voice shaking. I'm done. I'm going to marry James. I'm starting over. James squeezed my hand. My lawyer nodded and spoke up. The case is already filed. This will be handled in court. The trial moved fast. In the end, the judge agreed they'd stolen my name and money. They had to pay back every cent and cover extra damages. Victoria whispered, "This can't be real," as my mom sat frozen, her face pale. My father looked tired and sad. "It's what you chose," I said. I felt calm, for once. I felt like I mattered. When it was over, my mother and sister were left with big debts. Victoria complained, "How are we supposed to pay this?" My mom finally realized how badly they'd messed up. My father looked at them both sternly. "Reina suffered because you never thought about anyone but yourselves." A few weeks later, my father sent me a message. "We were wrong. I see it now. Can we fix this?" They tried to change. Victoria took part-time jobs. My mom stopped spending carelessly. I could see they were trying, but it was hard for me to forget. When they asked if we could be close again, I stayed silent. I didn't know if I could trust them yet. When I told them how I felt, my mother started crying. Victoria didn't know what to say. I ended the call and didn't reach out for a while. I needed space. One night, I called James. His calm voice felt like a warm blanket over my tired heart. "I've decided to stay away from them for now," I told him. James said softly, "That's brave, Reina. You're doing what's best for you. I'm here, always." His words gave me hope for a new start. I told him I wanted to build a new life with him. He smiled and said, "Your happiness comes first. Let's make a fresh start together." Even when I tried to move on, my family kept sending messages. My mother wrote, "Reina, are you okay? I hope we can talk someday. I want you to be happy." Her words softened something in me. Maybe they really wanted to change. Around that same time, I found out I was pregnant. The news shook me, and gave me hope for the future. Maybe my child could have the family love I didn't have. When I told James, he held my hands and said, "If you want to reconnect with them, I'll stand by you." So I reached out to my mom first. We talked slowly at first, careful, quiet calls that grew warmer each time. One day, she said through tears, "I'm so happy to hear your voice again. I promise to listen to you from now on." Hearing that healed a piece of my heart. With my baby on the way, I wanted to build a better family, one where we all respected each other and didn't hurt one another anymore. Maybe we couldn't fix everything overnight, but this time, I felt hope, real hope, that we could try.